I absolutely hate, I don't hate white meat, but I prefer dark meat. I just go through this chicken honey, and once I finish that dark meat, I'm forced to eat this white meat. I can't stand it. Ugh, I like Chick-fil-A white meat. I wonder how can you make white meat really soft? Like Chick-fil-A's. What do they do to make their meat so soft? Put a bunch of chemicals in it? Is that what they do? Put a bunch of chemicals in it? Chick-fil-A, is that what y'all do? Ah! Chick-fil-A, is that what y'all do? I have to eat when the show is over before I go to bed. It's just chicken, it's nothing fried. But I came on here because I want to talk about a few things that I had on my mind about the show. In just a second. Oh, by the way, if you don't want to see me smack and make noises, please exit at this time. Okay, so okay, hold on. Good morning. Okay. Let me start by saying this. I have been in the inner, damn, I got the wrong thing. I want to drink this one. It don't matter. I've been in the entertainment industry for a long time, over 40 years. In both circuits, straight and gay. And it's the entertainment industry is a tough cookie. You got to have tough skin to be in the entertainment industry. You can't be a wussy. Well, when I was in the gay community doing shows and stuff, there have been times when people would say, oh, do you know this person? Do you know that person? I'm like, yeah. Well, this person does this. They do this like this. They do it like that. Until miserable people realize there's only one Sherry Shepherd. There's only one Wendy Williams. There's only one PT. There's only one Miss Renee, who I love. There's only one Charles and Netta. The person who's always trying to compare you to somebody else is miserable with their own lives. There's only one of you that's watching me. And nobody can be you but you. And I saw a comment tonight when somebody was talking about Flame, which I know Flame. I booked Flame for one of my shows. I know her very well. I've said it a million times. Flame is a flawless comedian. I love her. But I don't have to constantly talk about Flame because that's not what my show is about. Flame don't talk about me. And you go on her show, she gonna read you like, girl, I want to hear no. Yeah, I booked Flame years ago for one of my shows. But when a person said, oh, you're not as funny as she is, well, then you don't need to be on my channel. I'm going to block you. Do you know that some people say that Keenan Ivan Wayne is not funny? Do you know that some people that say Martin Lawrence ain't funny? Do you know that some of the top comedians in the world, people don't think that they're funny? I don't think Dave Chappelle is funny. But that don't mean nobody else don't think he's funny. So, first of all, when somebody come on my live and I'm just sitting here talking and clowning people, that's not comedy. I mean, it's comedy to an extent, but it's not me at the bar. You know, it's not me at the bar doing stand-up. Well, first of all, I'm not going to get in front of a camera and do comedy. I'm just letting people heckle me and I'm heckling them back. But if you want to see me do stand-up comedy, you're not going to see it on YouTube. And I know what the person was trying to do. They was just trying to just being messy. But you can't, yeah. See? Somebody don't think Kevin Hart is funny. But Kevin Hart has made a lot of money doing comedy. And you can't compare Kevin Hart to any other comedian but himself. You know? And just because somebody don't think I'm funny, that does not determine on what God has in store for me for my life. So, my suggestion to anybody out there who comes to watch my show, if you compare me to any other comedian out there, and you think, first of all, I'm in competition with anybody else, you got like fucked up. What the song say, I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone, baby. I ain't got time to be worried about what nobody else is doing. Mm-mm. And yeah. And please don't try to put me, let me tell y'all something. And you don't have to believe it. And you don't have to believe it, but God has, my mother has prayed over me all my life, ever since I was a little, before I came out of her stomach. And God has his hand on my life. I may not be a perfect person. When people mess with me, bad things happen to them. I don't know why, but they do. And it ain't voodoo. I wasn't even supposed to have been here as a child, but God let me live. And there was a queen in Dallas. All my career, she tried to come for me, take my clubs. She acts just like me. She performs just like me. She has no talent though. So there's a difference when you act like somebody. And I was the first one that gave her start. The first one that gave her job as an entertainer. She made a little name for herself locally. Got on drugs, cocaine, got worse. Where's she at now? She ain't done half the things I've done. She ain't done half the things I've done. She get on social media, be throwing little slugs at me. I be hearing about it. It don't bother me because where you at now? You strung out on drugs. And where's PT at? I may not be on Apollo or a national television show, but bitch, if you was that goddamn funny, you'd have a lot of followers, and you ain't got a lot of followers. She acts, and everybody say, oh, she act just like you, PT. I'm the one that gave her a start. Oh yeah, we had a club in Dallas. Well, it started a long time ago. It was me and these guys, and we had a club. It was me, the other guys, and the agreement was the guys paid me and then the club paid me. Well, that MC that I'm telling you about, that I gave her start, she was with them too. She was friends with them. Well, once we started that club, I knew the shit was gonna hit the fan. It was like, we need to have a meeting. No, we don't need to have no meeting. I'm the MC. Y'all pay me $100, they pay me $100. Simple as that. The club paid me $100. We don't need to have a meeting. Meeting for what? Okay? These people are coming for PT. They're not coming for nobody else. So I told my boss, and he was like, well, y'all all came together. Y'all need to work it out. Oh, that's all you got to say. You gave me the permission to go find me another spot. Because they were trying to give it to that person I'm telling you about who's strung out on drugs now. I went and found another spot. And mind you, we was on the strip in Dallas. We was like where everybody's at. And I took a chance by going around the corner, going on a whole other street away from where everybody's at. I took a chance of finding another spot to start my own night because I didn't want to deal with them no more. I said, y'all can have it. Y'all right here on the motherfucking strip. Y'all can pack this bitch out like I did. But I'm finna show y'all something. Went and found a club. Talked to the owner, told him who I was. And I said, hey, I said, hey, I told him who I was, told him what I want to do. He said, cool, that's fine. He said, I'm gonna come see your show. He came to see my show. He loved it. They didn't have no business. It's all right, I blocked them. They didn't have no business. So I said, he said, I brought them some business. He gave me the whole door. We charged $5 to get in after 10, I think, 11, whatever. Dollar drinks till a certain time. Just like we did at the other club. Guess where everybody was at? Now, if I was that bad enough to remove everybody from the main strip, if I was bold enough to move everybody from the main strip and bring you around the corner, in other words, like it would be like you being on the Las Vegas Strip and you go 2 blocks away and you take the crowd with you, you're a bad bitch. I was a bad bitch. So I was gone for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. And my boss's brother, he was riding down the street. I could see him coming down the street, looking in the club to see how many people we had in there. I was never upset and mad at my boss. Because he didn't really know me. He didn't know my worth. He didn't know what I could do. His brother came to the club and said, Ada wants to talk, my brother wants to talk to you. He wants you to come back. Let's go. Let's do it. I started working for him. I want to say, was it 2005? Something like that. And I worked for him for a long time until I moved away. Yeah. And that person, here's another thing. And then when I got back to the club years later, I hired this DJ trying to give him a chance because everybody wanted to work at that club. It was the worst mistake I could have ever made in my life. I hired him and I fucked up because he had that rowdy crowd. I'm old school. And I kept telling my boss, we need to change this music because this ratchet shit, and we on the strip, all these white folks in these houses over here, this shit ain't gonna last long. Them, excuse my language, them niggas was fighting every goddamn night. Every time I had Thursdays and Sundays, they was always fighting. I get on social media, I'm trying to tell everybody, y'all, you can't do this shit, this is a neighborhood. Y'all gotta chill out with this shit. But a lot of people really wouldn't come from the club. There'd be people that get into it on social media all week long, then they come down in the area and they, you know. And so that MC, the DJ that I hired, he brought that ratchet crowd. That fucked up my career at that club. That fucked up my money. You know. I am going to bed. I have to eat before I go to bed. And so that MC, the DJ went and got another club around the corner. He's so dumb and stupid. He went around the corner and you begged me to come on. He begged me to get on my Thursday night. I said, okay, I got you. I'm gonna put you on. Charlie, when a month later, this motherfucker, my boss called me, my same boss. He said, he sent me a flyer and I just shook my head. This bitch gonna go around the corner and start another night. He said, find me another DJ. He said, find me another DJ. I said, okay. Okay, I'm gonna look at it. He said, find me another DJ. Find him another DJ. He said, don't say nothing to him. I'm going to fire him when he get here. And they fired him because guess what? The drag queen I was telling you about to try to act like me, it was him and her. They was trying to do a night. It didn't work. But anyway, we ended up losing the club. Well, the club's still open, but it was so ratchet, child. It was so bad that it got so bad down there. They was fighting every week. And that one last fight they had, woo! It's bad when women fight men, gays at that. See, when I came out in the 80s, we was fighting to keep people alive. These motherfuckers is riding on our coattails. These gays now are riding on our coattails. We wasn't fighting each other. We was fighting to keep people alive. People was dying from AIDS. And now these motherfuckers fighting each other. How the fuck you gonna be a dude to fighting a girl? So it was so bad that night. My boss came. Well, the club didn't start out like that. I blame the music. I've always made the music. The music's too ratchet. I kept telling my boss we need to change the music, but all he saw was money. I told him to go old school, but he wouldn't do it. So it was so bad one night, y'all niggas was fighting in the street. They don't realize the people in their neighborhood, they were taking pictures and videos. Sent it to the city council. You know they got one gay person sitting on the city council. Come on now. You know they got one gay person sitting on that city council. When my boss came, my boss looked at me and did like this. I said, you know they're coming. He said, yep. 3 weeks later, undercover, the vice, police, ABC, I mean, they came in with masks on, everyone. That's where the colors had to go. They had to get out of his club. My boss is a Mexican, this man is a Mexican, born in Mexico. Came all the way over here. He was really blessed to get that club because the man that owned it died and left it to him. He always reminded me about when I came to Texas, I had no money in my pocket and I was a dishwasher. My boss is so rich now. He done booked pretty much every hip hop star you can think of. So when we got kicked out, tell you he owns a lot of clubs. We had to move to, now it was a bigger club, but here was the problem. Okay, so here's downtown Dallas. Let's say here's South Dallas. There's North Dallas, East, West. So if you live in the South, here our club was coming like downtown, you had to come all the way from the South side, pass downtown, and go all the way to the North side. So it wasn't the same no more. It's not, the club was like in the middle. You can come from the South, the West, the East, and you're right there, you know, they fucked it up. And my boss would be, pretty much they just say you got to get rid of these NIGGA. They put in so many words they told him. And my boss was not, you think this Mexican man that came from Mexico gonna lose his business behind a bunch of And that Thursday, and that Sunday night I had, guess who got in there? Mexicans. And guess who? And guess who? Okay, so when we moved to the new club, it was a big club, by the way. It was huge. But people want to be down in the strip while everybody else was there. So my boss was like, well, we need to book a big celebrity for the grand opening. So we're going to get T.S. Madison. He don't know who that is. He's straight. He don't know nothing about all that. He just let me do everything. This is a true story. No lie. We booked T.S. Madison. She's really nice. She came in. The agreement was that she come in the day before, but no one knew that on my Thursday night. No one knew she was coming in on Thursday. They thought she was coming in on a Sunday. On that Friday, but she came in on that Thursday. And she popped up at my show. Everybody was shocked. Oh my God, Chase Madison's here. And when the club closed, she was gone. She had already left. The fight broke out. Oh my God, they were shooting, running over folks with cars. My boss forgot to get, well, he didn't forget to get security, but he didn't get security for that night. He was going to get it for the next night. Police and everything. Baby, we was all on the news. You know what the police told me? He said, is this the same crowd from Havana's? Yeah. He just shook his head. Same people from the same club that just got kicked off the strip. Well, when we had lost the club that I was telling y'all about down on the strip, I already made up my mind I was moving to Houston. I had already made up my mind I was moving to Houston. I'm done. Y'all black people can blame white people all you want. Sometimes we gotta blame ourselves. That don't make no motherfucking sense. We never had a black club on the strip ever. Where all the other the white bars, Spanish bar, everybody on the strip. Everybody, that's where everybody at. You bar hop, go here, go there, the restaurants down there. Y'all motherfuckers just gave it away. Gave it away. And I had made up my mind. Let me turn this phone off. All these trolls gonna be calling. I'm gonna turn my phone off in a minute. I'm gonna turn it off before I go to sleep. But I'm about to go to sleep, y'all. I do eat before I go to bed. But yeah, tell you, man, that's the reason why that's why I started my YouTube channel. That's why I started my YouTube channel. Something that hopefully one day that will take the place of what I missed working at the clubs, the money at the club. I mean, YouTube is a lot better than having to get in drag and perform and host and all that. But I do miss it. Yeah, I do miss it. Mm-hmm. But it's history now. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, y'all.